Welcome to the Honest Hounds podcast, a place where we shine a spotlight on our wonderful members and their lives with their dogs. We'll be diving into the inspiring, the thought-provoking, and the sometimes emotional journeys that we go on with our four-legged friends. So sit back and relax and be inspired by the journeys that present in front of you. And if you need a community from anywhere in the world for you and your dog, we're absolutely here. Alrighty, we are back with another episode of the Honest Hounds podcast, and this is definitely our furthest away guest that we've had so far. This is one that I'm really excited about because we have this awesome little pocket of people in this part of the world, and so it's really nice to shine a little spotlight on someone from this part of the community. So my first question, as always, is who are you and who is your dog?
Jackie. This is my partner Rory. Sorry, how's it going? We have a 3.5-year-old long-haired German Shepherd named Kai.
I'm going to start by saying that he looks so much like the German Shepherd that I had when I was growing up. So whenever you guys tag me in things, I'm like, oh, I love it. It's so sweet. So we love a fluffy German Shepherd here. And I think that I was just saying to you guys before we hit record, obviously Jess Williams was like, get these guys on the podcast. So we'll dive into all things Shepherd as we go. But tell us a little bit, what is your origin story with Kai? How did he come to joining your family? And what do those early days look like for you?
Well, so we went through a breeder. And as we've learned, a really, really good breeder. She's been fantastic with how she raises the puppies. So from as early as possible, they're basically exposed to everything. Sounds,
the whole socialization spectrum in terms of like slight crate training, thunderstorms, loud noises, everything like that.
Going to
the blender on, going tick with that.
Literally, imagine.
And she also did like the early neurological kind of like thing.
It's been turning upside down, cradling, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. So sounding great so far. Loving that.
Yep. We also, we got him from 8 weeks old. So we took him straight into the puppy school when we were allowed to after he got his shots and everything. Got him exposure to all the local sounds like trains, cafes, just out and about as much as possible. The good thing was like at the early stage, I was work from home full time. So it allowed us to do probably a lot more than what we would have if we were both working in office full time, especially with like consistency and training and everything. But yeah, most of the early days is, just letting them get used to everything, explore the world, lots of picnics and stuff in the park on a little rug.
Oh, cute.
And yeah, so we did that for a little bit, and then adding on to his exposure, we started doing some tracking training. So at about 6 months of old, roughly, we started an online tracking course.
Wow.
And basically we're just taught how to teach him, how to show us that he's found the smell, or he's found the thing that we want him to find.
It literally is, you're sitting there with the Zoom call. And like they tell you to get a jar lid out type of thing and put some spells to it and try and get them to like indicate. And it's a 5.5 month to 6 month-year-old puppy trying to indicate. Looks hilarious.
You're like, I'm not sure how to find my nose yet, but I'm giving it a go.
Yeah. He did really good.
Yeah.
We were very impressed. So from that, we kind of moved on to doing an in-person workshop with the Tracking Club of Victoria. So again, although this time they mostly focus on using socks as items, smelly socks.
As you'd expect in an actual, tracking.
Yeah, I guess when you're trying to find someone, you do have their stinky clothes on.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And basically from then we kept working on the tracking and got him into trialing at 9-10 months of age.
Wow.
I guess as a dog, they do pretty well with the whole scent work and all that kind of thing. He did
working breed.
Yeah. He excelled at it, and we got our first dog sport title at about 11 months old.
It must be quite unusual to get that so early. Like, you guys are like, oh yeah, whatever, that's just what dogs do. But that must be quite unusual to have a dog that's not even a year old yet that's already got a title.
Yeah. People will say like, that's pretty impressive. I'm like, okay, is it? Okay, sure.
Very modest.
It's like, we're just doing what he loves.
And then so he got his title, and they were like, okay, well, it's becoming summer. We might just do less tracking because it's quite hot now, and he can't really focus very well. So we're like, moved on to more obedient stuff, and kept going to markets, going to his like other dog clubs and all exposure things, train stations, kept that moving. So we thought we were doing really well. We started doing some trialing in the rally obedience, like where they do like they follow the signs and they do all the things and go around cones and and again he was doing that really well. It meant that we could do it around dogs still maintain that exposure with other dogs and people.
Mind you, throughout all this, we are doing, we're doing obedience training every weekend. So it wasn't just like jumping straight to the gun to rally and tracking, but consistently doing weekends on the obedience so that he could keep up and go through the levels there.
Exactly. And it was also about this time that he started becoming quite mouthy, like more mouthy than you would kind of think at this age.
Classic like teenager. Yes, final hormonal phase.
Yeah, so
That mad towards you guys, like did you see that much as a puppy? Was that something that he then continued on, or is it coming out of nowhere as the hormones kick in?
he did a little bit, but it didn't seem as intense, I don't think.
It was, we did a lot of diversion, like the diverting and everything with it, but it came out a lot more as he was getting older.
Yeah. And you're just grabbing our clothes and particularly our sleeves, like close to my hand. You'd come home from school and like, oh yay, okay, my hand's all bruised and all right, that's what we're going through right now. But yeah, we just did a lot of redirection and kept just trying to move it forward, I guess. And yeah,
it must be tough when you're kind of, because it sounds like you guys were doing so much work with him. So you're doing all the tracking, you're doing the obedient stuff, which I think that we can get into that narrative of, well, if he's well behaved enough, we won't see it. But obviously the frustration and the things that come with that if he's not got, and that is so interesting, isn't it? Because the first thing he'd say was, has he got an outlet? Has he got his needs? And actually you guys are going, tick. Yeah, we've done all of the needs met things. We're doing lots of stuff with him. But there is still a world where actually if we've got a dog that isn't kind of sure on where he sits in our dynamic, we then still get the fallout and not being certain how to then deal with it. So obviously you guys are based all the way in Australia. At what point did you find Honest Hounds and how did that then come into the picture of all of the other stuff that you were doing?
one that started happening that I kind of found the story atlas on Instagram. And I'm following you guys and watching your work. And just being introduced to Honest Hounds by your account and just being like, oh, this is really cool. We had started seeing other reactivity come from Kai now that like he'd some barking and some lunging and all that was happening as well. So I was like, oh, I know that I can't just avoid dogs. Like I don't want to do that. So, these neutral walks through Honest Hounds sound amazing. And it wasn't long after that he had his first like kind of incident with a dog. So we were like, okay, and we need to do something.
Were you still going along? Because obviously the tracking and the things that you were doing with the obedience and stuff, you're going to be seeing dogs in those settings, but it can be quite typical, can't it? If the dog's kind of in a job, we get less of it. But if we then try and bring them into the real world, we get slightly different. Were you seeing him have those different personas depending on whether he's working?
Yes, definitely. So at school, like in class, he'd be, once he settled in class, it'd take 5-10 minutes to get him into class and settled, he would be fine. He could be around the dogs. He could be next to them. He could be doing off-lead recall and have no issue. Leading into class, so like when we first arrived to class and just hanging around with other owners nearby or out on walks, that's a different story. It was more of you could see him just be like, oh God. And he starts lunging and he starts barking and
Get a bit more excited or
Mm.
didn't know how to react. And obviously that would then turn into him reacting in a way that wasn't his normal, I guess. Or
Yeah. So yeah, he's always fine class, which I guess we were so confused by it because, we know he can be around dogs,
Yeah.
but then this other side is also happening outside of school and that kind of thing. So we're like, oh, we need help.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting one because I think that there's this kind of narrative that there's just dogs, and actually particularly for the shepherds, and obviously when we start to look at the breeds themselves, like that's such a key part of who they are and the part of their puzzle. And I think sometimes that gets missed, and then when we do find shepherd owners and they come and join us and they start kind of talking about things, they're like, me too, I also have this issue where my dog was completely fired until there's someone, like, I was speaking to someone yesterday and she's like, she's fine. If she's in a pack, she's brilliant. She can be off lead, she can mill around, she can do all of these things. If someone comes out from around the corner up the way, she will absolutely not be able to handle it. And I was like, yeah, she's a shepherd. It's our goal in life to be like, alert, alert.
Yeah. My pack.
Yeah. And yeah, so we had this bit of an incident. I don't know, like just a lot of noise, just a lot of posturing, thinking he owned the place, even though we were at this point in time, we were on a holiday. It was 300 kilometers away from home, so you don't own the house, fine. But yeah, we were like, okay, we need to get some help. We need to find someone. We did have a local trainer, but they're always so busy. So we're like, okay, we can't book in with them until probably 2 months' time. We do need something a bit sooner. So we I joined Honest Hounds, and then, people were like, oh, Jess Williams is great. I'm like, okay, done.
It's so interesting, isn't it? Because when you have these incidents, especially when you're kind of in a situation that's not familiar, and obviously with holidays, all the routines out of whack. But the idea of then waiting for 2 months once you've seen something, or even 2 weeks, it's like we can't. It's too long for us to not get an answer on this behavior when you're so unclear of what that kind of through route is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of unknowns with it as well. Like, is there a domino effect of it having other triggers or something else along the line that we don't know about that could make it worse? So not jumping on it and fast enough may cause more damage than good.
Yeah. Yeah, and just not feeling like we have the skills to even help him through any of the situations that trigger him. It's like, oh, just keep practicing the wrong thing, basically.
Yeah, and reinforcing things that you didn't necessarily want to. So I think it's such an interesting question. If you guys don't mind sharing a little bit of your journey. So obviously you've picked up from Australia and picked Jess, which is so funny because she literally lives in in the middle of nowhere in Scotland. She couldn't have less people around her if she tried. And so a lot of what she does is through Zoom. But I think sometimes people can be like, well, it's not possible. You can't possibly speak to me about my dog and there be any change that could happen, especially for behavior work. But I've seen your stories and the progress, and you guys are absolutely flying. So how has it happened for you guys doing that across Zoom and having the challenges to work on, but still being able to get to the point that you've seen such good change?
Yeah, well,
We're fairly active online, just given who we are, and have work over Teams and Zoom and stuff a fair bit. So it's no strange thing. And I think one of the main things that, we're open to is we have an active folder that we kind of share with Jess in terms of trying to, because we record a few things, we say this is what the behavior looks like, and we'll talk through scenarios and everything as well. And it's a lot of the general concepts that could be tailored to certain situations as well. So we're very open to it, and I think a lot of it is keeping an open mind, but also being as detailed and aware of what you saw in a certain situation or scenario to then kind of portray it to someone who's online through the computer so that they can get a clear understanding of what you encountered, and either fill in the gaps or just watch it online. So I think that was probably the hardest, thing to overcome online is trying to be clear enough that they understand or Jess understands. But I think that, the video definitely helps having a folder of all the stuff.
Definitely. Yeah.
Such a good way to do it because, I mean, they say, don't they, a picture tells 1,000 words. And if you've got a video of something, then actually, I think the good bit about that is that you've got it in the times that it matters as well. Whereas actually, if you come and do an in-session person, we always get it when people are like, we've done an hour session and my dog hasn't shown you the behavior. And we're like, no, we believe you that it's there. I promise that we do. But actually, if you guys have got the ability to go, we'll do the theory together in the Zoom session, but then we can go out and get some content and get some videos of the bits that happen out in the wild, or when you sat watching TV and you wouldn't necessarily be doing a session with a trainer as well. It's then a very cool way to start to go, well, actually, we've now got a really clear picture because it's all the little bits that add up. Like you said, it's the things that you don't necessarily think will matter.
Yeah, and I think along the way, there's definitely things that we haven't noticed and have learned across. Like we could break down videos, frame by frame to see what a reaction is to something. We also, record our walks on the GoPro, which helps a lot. So we're out and about, we don't have to worry about it; it's just sitting on our chest, and we get to see the actual, organic reactions to dogs walking past, and you can play by play on the computer what actually happened. But there's lots of homework, which is
Yeah,
well,
I like that.
yeah. I mean, Jess has sets us up for success in that matter because she's like keep it consistent. We'll break it down, try this, come back, our next call, see how it went. Did it work? Did it not? And then we can like play it again and also have other scenarios to work with as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
What was the biggest bit that kind of stuck with you that you went, oh, I see, this is what we've been missing?
I think so the reset rules made a huge difference. Like putting the toys away. Like
This is early on too.
The first session with Jess, she told us reset rules. And because up until then we'd just been having toys around the house because he would just go pick up one and then just chew on it. And you're like, okay, he's occupied. That's great. But then once we put the toys away, obviously he had to learn how to settle on his own accord around the place.
There was no outlet for him to chew anything to calm himself down. He had to learn how to do it himself.
Yeah, that was hard.
It's a big hurdle to overcome. But in the long term, it's probably had the biggest impact, through maturity as well. We seeing him tenfold, just anywhere. You can sit down anywhere now, and just chill out and relax a bit more than what he used to.
Exactly.
And it's really nice to see.
Yeah. There's no nagging. There's no, oh, do you want to play? Yeah, I've got this toy for you. Do you want to play? Want to play? Don't want to play.
Yeah. If we're out and about in Airbnb somewhere on holiday, he can, chuck his bed down and he'll actively do it himself and relax a bit and go, okay, this is my spot. I can chill out now. I don't need to chew a toy for half an hour or an hour before I can, go to sleep or something like that. What happened that?
And it's such an interesting part, isn't it? Because you guys are doing so much with him. So he's getting the tracking and all the bits that you do, and we're getting that uptime. And then actually we go, oh, well, it's not a big deal if he's just got things around the house and whatever. But actually he's kind of always wired going, oh, when's the fun going to happen? Can I kind of nag you into doing this with me? Whereas actually that little bit of clarity where we go, hey, buddy, there's going to be loads of time that you're going to do some really cool stuff with us. But every now and then we are just going to ask you to go and sleep because you will not be a happy boy if you never get rest.
And it's funny you say that. Like sometimes people come up and be like, is now the time to ask to play? And you're like, no. And he's like, okay, I'll go sit back down now.
He's like, see you in approximately 30 minutes.
Yeah. I'm watching my watch.
Oh, he does sound like a really sweet boy. So where are you guys at now? What do those neutral walks look like? What does that reactivity look like?
Yeah, so through joining the neutral walks, we've met some people, some awesome people who we also meet up outside the neutral walks. So we can regularly, quite consistently meet up with them and keep practicing those good times and making those good choices. So we've now gone from, having to move up the path at least 5 minutes up the path to make space for Kai. So he's not reacting to now sometimes,
You choose your battles, but
Yeah.
like most of the time,
we can just walk past.
walk past. Yeah.
And he might have a look at them and you be like, oh, buddy, let's go. And he's like, okay, cool. But like, even just that is like, and it's only been through the last couple of months, I say, that this has really started happening. It just blows my mind sometimes. We could walk past a dog and he's just like, oh yeah, cool. And just keep going.
It's not an event.
Oh, that's the best thing, isn't it? And I think it's so interesting. Like, yeah, we pick our battles. Absolutely. There's always like, just like in the world, that there are people that you would probably give a wide berth if you were walking down an alleyway. You'd be like, yeah, I'll create some space here. There's going to be dogs that you're going to go, actually, this isn't the one. But to be able to just normalize that and be like, he's cool, I'm cool. We're not bothered. Everything's fine.
Exactly. And he's even made friends now. He's got friends that he loves walking with. And you can see it. As soon as we get there and you can see them, he's just like, the feet are going, his tail's like,
It's wet blood from yeah. He basically dances a little bit as well.
it's so lovely to see.
The little tippy.
Yeah.
Little paw back.
Oh, that's so. So you guys have obviously kind of touched on all the sports that you do with him. Which one or ones do you love the most, and what does it kind of add to your dynamic together?
I think tracking is the best one.
Yeah.
I think it's so awesome just being behind him and just holding the lead and just letting him do his thing and just trusting that he knows where he's going.
Yeah.
And like he pulls like tracker top yet. Just
It's got the drive.
But it's just amazing just to watch him just figure out this puzzle and then find the person. It's just like, here's celebration.
Yeah. I mean, the training's also fun as well because, one of us has to, hold him and help him. And the other one gets to hide at the end of the trail and wear all the funky smelling socks. And get the hide, yeah. Big meet and greet at the end with lots of little Cheetos.
No, I think tracking is the one love. Like, obedience is fun, but it's like this tracking is just let him do his thing.
I think the big part is the trust thing. It's you get to show the bond between you and the dog.
Yeah.
In a working environment, and it's really cool.
Definitely. Yeah.
What are your goals for that? Are you just gonna keep progressing? Is there like a pathway that you work through or levels for it?
Yeah. So we've achieved like the beginner level. So we're now gonna move up to more advanced, and is it like another 3 levels we can do? So we'll keep working through that and at his own pace, and hopefully fully get the final title. Grand champion.
It's what it's called, Grand Champion. That is the best thing.
I think it's like Grand Champion, Grand Tracking Champion or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And they changed their name and stuff. So like it's like getting a doctorate. But
yeah, essentially.
And is that a case of, I have a very basic knowledge of how it all works, but is that a case of the trail is longer or the scent has been there for a longer time, so it's not as strong? Is it kind of
a bit of both? Yeah.
A bit of everything. So the trail gets longer. So I think by the last one, it's almost 1.5 kilometers.
Yeah, 1.5 kilometers. And then there's a minimum time that the person's hiding or has done the track. Let's walk the track. So I think like an hour or something.
I think it's an hour.
About an hour. So someone will walk the track and put down the articles. And then an hour later, you come out with your dog and do the track.
Yeah.
But also it gets a bit more complex. Like they'll have a bit sharper turns, which, the dog has to follow. It's a lot harder for them to signal the right way.
Yeah, and then, they also have like that. It's called like a cross track. So someone might purposely walk across the track. So it's like, oh, will the dog follow the person, or will it just keep following the one it's trying to find?
Well, that's just
interesting.
so nice to have something with like those really clear. I feel like obviously we kind of focus a lot on the behavior mod side of things, and it's not so linear. You have to be able, you'll know this from the reactivity stuff, you have to be able to pivot and, like you say, review those videos and adjust. It must be nice to have the other side of that, which is like, we go along, we do this thing, we tick it off, and then if we do that, we go to this one, and then we tick that off. And actually, it's quite nice to have that side of things as well, where you have got that progression that is a bit more standard.
Like you say, like you can just literally tick it off and just move forward. There's no like, oh, but this might happen. But no, we know it's going to happen. There's no surprises.
So you guys have obviously navigated the world of having a shepherd. I guess I have a two-part question. Would you get another one? And what would you say to someone who was debating adding a shepherd to their family?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Let's. We want another one. I can kind of imagine having multiple shepherds at one point on a farm.
A really good Hoover.
This is true.
Or hairball city with the humble weeds going down the hallways.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely get another one.
Yeah, for sure. And
Timing's probably the key thing for us in terms of it. Sometimes you just know when.
Yeah.
But also, we're still in the middle of setting himself up for success for his future and everything, and working through the current things. So, but yeah, definitely on the horizon. And I think for someone who's considering a second one
or another one.
or another one,
Adding a
shepherd to the family, you have to take into consideration what your current situation is with your pets, children, everything, if you could take it on. Because obviously shepherds, being a working dog, very, very high maintenance and very, very much attention seeking and everything. But yeah, I think you have to take into consideration it's basically having another child in a sense.
Definitely. And just looking at what like the breed needs, making sure you're meeting the needs fully, so that you're not going to have like a terror child running around the house.
Yeah, bored terror child.
Yeah, that's fair. That doesn't sound fun. Okay, so a slightly bigger question. You guys have been on quite the journey, and this question might be different for the both of you, but what's something that you've learned about yourselves through the process of the journey with Kai?
You want to go?
It's been such a positive impact. Like obviously they're very routine driven dogs, and for us having that routine and actually being forced to the routine has actually made a very positive impact just generally in our lives. And our mental health obviously is a lot better because of it. And it gives you a sense of purpose as well. Like coming home knowing that you've got this very loyal, loving dog that you can take for a walk, and he's happy as can be is you can't replace that because it's just it's amazing.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, I've always been a very patient person, but I think just going the extra level of patience and even just being more consistent with what we do, I've learned is very important. We can't one day be like, oh, we'll do this, and then the next day, no, actually, we'll do this way, and then have a confused dog, like, and just taking it slow.
What do you mean you have to do 1,500 reps of this? No, we definitely do have to do 1,500 reps of that, and he will love it, every bit of it.
Yeah. Yeah, once you understand those pathways, you're like, oh no, this is a long, consistent future.
Totally. But and mental health has been quite important because getting quite stressed out by a reactive dog, getting anxiety, huge anxiety around it. What's going to happen this walk, but just learning to actually breathe when you're walking with the dog and not holding your breath, and
because they notice it too.
Oh yeah.
They pick up on every little detail of your emotions and everything. And yeah, I feel like some of us brushed up from us onto him, but yeah, they sense it.
Yeah.
And do you think that's just come because I think that's something that a lot of people that will be listening to this are gonna have been there, where actually we get stuck in this loop of, well, we know we need to do the right thing, and absolutely we're gonna go out and try and do it, but it almost feels a bit offensive to say to people like, okay, but you just need to calm down in that moment as well because your dog's gonna pick up on it. And you're like, yeah, that's really great. Thanks for that helpful advice. Do tell me how to be calm when my dog has previously been barking and lunging at people. For you, has it just come with practice and like you say, just being aware? I think noticing that you're holding your breath and then kind of coming back on with that. What's been the biggest help for you?
I think just being more aware and I mean, I think finding out that we have to create more distance with them kind of allows us to step back and take a bigger breath because we know that we've got this distance. There's nothing wrong that's going to happen. So we can just be more present.
It's like setting boundaries,
Mm.
pretty much. Like, and a lot of it is learnt along the way because it's not every day is the same. Every situation is going to be slightly different. You might get someone who's a bit more wants to pet your dog, say no, you can step away, type of thing. You breathe, or get stuck in a situation where there's an off lead dog or something like that. That's in the park that it's okay to stop, have a boundary, and maybe redirect to a different area. You don't have to go through the park if the dog's there or you don't feel comfortable doing it. And I think that's one thing that is prominent that we learn over the time is that we're allowed to make these boundaries and have them.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just for us; it's also for him. So
It's all right to avoid that dog today.
Yeah, I think it's such a good one as well, and finding that balance between like the days that you're like, I'm up for it, I'm ready for a challenge, and I'm gonna steam through this part because I know that I'm confident, and therefore he will be. And the other days where you're like, do you know what? This is not the day. It is not the time.
Yeah.
We're gonna go the long way around, and that is fine. And actually, rather than being like, oh well, I didn't do the hard thing. Well, actually, you were super aware of what you and your dog both needed, and by doing the altered plan, you've shown that you've got the problem solving and the ability to go. That was still a win. I think that's a huge plus.
yeah, and it literally is something as simple as like you're walking down a straight road, and in the distance, like 200 meters, you see another dog coming with their owner, walking, on lead and everything. But then you're like, do I feel up for it today to have this interaction, or do you think that Kai feels up to it to have this interaction, and then adjusting, walking past if you feel comfortable with it, or crossing the road or taking a different route to make up for it, like depending on you gauge it as you go.
We've definitely learned to gauge. Even just looking at the dog that you're going to pass, we're like, okay, their energy level's quite high. I don't think Kai will hook up with this. Let's just make more space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or staring. Really staring.
They're giving up rude behavior in dog language. You're like, "Ugh." And that's something we've learned as well working with Jess is learning about behaviors that other dogs have, not just Kai, and working out, okay, are they happy? Are they sad? Are they, a bit too excited, as Jackie said, to have in Kai's bubble.
And it'll be so easy. I mean, as you guys continue and you look back 6 months and a year, and that'll have shifted again, and you'll be like, oh, well, that's not even a bother. But obviously, as you're working through that journey, like, absolutely makes sense to kind of clock the ones that you're like, yeah, do you know what? Great, we're at this level, but actually, if we're being stalked 200 meters by a dog that's already planted itself, we're probably just going to create some space with that, and that's fine. But
Definitely.
like you say, there's a power in being able to read that situation and see what the other dog is bringing. Whereas I think when we're in that kind of stressed, reactive state, there's no space to even look at the other dog because we're so busy focused on our dog going, oh my goodness, what's going to happen?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, that's so true. I used to do that a lot. I'd be not really being aware of what Kai's doing, but just being like, okay, there's a dog there. There's a dog there. There's a dog. Okay, Kai's exploding. He's like, oh no.
I thought you were
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, it is. The ultimate is when you can look at yourself, your dog, the other dog, and the other owner. That's when you know you're like elite level. Like you look at all 4 things at once.
Like you've got like 5 feathers on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and octopus hands, so you can do everything you need with the lead at the same time.
Oh my god, it's a craft.
Yeah.
We don't get like, where is everyone singing our praises for all the things that we do with our dogs on a daily basis? Right, guys, I'm going to finish by throwing some quick fire questions at you. So you both get the chance to answer and whatever comes to mind. I always say quick fire, and then the first question, everyone goes, but take the time if you need it. So my first question is your favorite thing about Kai?
Oh. Like he is just so much fun.
He's a drive. When he gets really, into it, excited, he gets like the big prance on. He's very, very up and a handsome boy running around, little stomps, wiggle butt. And it's so funny to watch. And he just gets, so excited and happy.
Get
to do work, yes.
Every shepherd ever, like, it's work day, woohoo!
Give me something to do. Oh my God, I have something. This is amazing.
Amazing, I love that. Okay, what is his favorite thing to do?
Oof. It's currently, as of lately, been sleeping and putting himself to bed. We have his safe space in his crate that's open, so he can go in and out during the day, and we'll be working from home. And he'll be sitting around doing his own thing, but then all you hear is the plastic floor of the crate go tunk tunk tunk, back, and you know that he's put himself to bed to have a little nap in his little safe space. And you're like, you peek around the corner, you're like, oh, that's really cute.
You're like, what?
Like, it's also really mature of you.
Yeah, like the teenage version of me was never putting themselves to bed for a nap.
Yeah. But it's like he's recognized it, and it's like, I need to recover a bit, and I'm just gonna go in here and have a little nap.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kai just loves to play. Like he bring out one of his toys and he's like, "Yep, I'm ready. Let's go."
And some of you say that 'cause it's like complete opposite, but
Yeah, I know.
they do go hand in hand.
He's always down for a game of tug or, just chase the ball or something. Like Julie, the eyes get huge.
Oh, he's so sweet. Okay, so your favorite training item. So this can be anything, and obviously you might have a different one for different situations.
Oh man.
When in clubs, right? What do we like though to work with him?
Me toy.
Yeah, just the one. We got one toy that we take on our walks and everything. That is just consistently out for him on the walk.
Yeah, really walk and training. And like you bring that out, like you bring it out where it's been hiding, and he's like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this. It's becoming quite effective when we're out on walks too. If we do see a dog, we're like, special word. Let's go over here and play. It's quite handy now.
One of the
Gone.
One of the old tools that we used that is actually quite funny is the jar lids when we were doing descent work, because he obviously clicks in his memory.
Oh yeah.
And he loves to indicate them by putting his nose on them. Sure. And he's like, it basically sits there and just shoves his nose and holds it there and waits for his treat.
Yeah, actually, because he just bring it out from wherever it's been hiding, and he's like, yep.
Indicate. Nose down. I'm ready. The nose down, but the eyes are up on you. Like, give me the treat.
It's so interesting, isn't it? Because there's so many answers to that question. What you guys have managed to do, which is perfect for a shepherd, is in both variations there, you've managed to create a focus that can be used out with the other thing. So it wouldn't matter if there was a dog barking at him or something happening in the distance. If you've got that toy or those lids, you've been able to create that focus. So you don't need a lead. You don't need to be holding him back, going, "Oh no," because you've built that drive, which for a shepherd is like chef's kiss.
Very handy.
Okay, so along these journeys, we all develop different superpowers. So if you were your own superhero with your journey with Kai, what is your individual dog owner superpower?
That's super speed. Running around everywhere super fast with him.
The end of that trailing lead going, "Oh my God."
Let's run and keep running.
Yeah. Needs strength to hold on to him.
Yeah.
Gosh. I don't know, like, I mean, I can get his focus really easily. You just,
You're like, he's just motivated. You're like, "Hello."
yeah.
With the fingers. There we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else though. But yeah, I think, yeah,
Power.
yeah.
I mean, super speed and super motivation are a pretty good combo to have.
Yeah, they're pretty important.
Okay.
Yeah, so fast.
What is one thing that you guys wish you'd known from day one of bringing Kai home?
One thing. I think just pushing more rest. So we had a lot of, up and about doing stuff. We were doing like a bit of crate stuff, but I think we could have done more with it, really. Like being a bit more, I guess, consistent with putting him away for a sleep after every kind of high energy thing.
Yeah.
So we kind of learnt a bit quicker to regulate those emotions.
And it's hard when they're a puppy as well, because you're like, they want to be out and they want to be, playing or socializing or being around, exploring. But at the same time, they kind of need to be, put into their crate so they have that downtime to learn and to have that rest, which is, at a puppy stage is extremely important.
Yeah, I feel like we're all battling our human emotions. I used to watch through the crate door like, "Oh, but he's so adorable."
You peek around the corner in the hallway and they're like upside down in their crate with their little teethies out. They're just passed out.
Okay, guys, and my final question for you is, what is one thing that you would say to someone who is still struggling on their journey with their dog?
Just keep going, keep at it, keep showing up. It will get better. It'll pay off in the end. Like, even when you feel like you're not making progress, you most likely are. You just haven't seen it yet. And basically just don't give up. Like, I mean, we never thought to give up, but yeah, just keep going.
There are moments where you feel like the world's ending, and you're like everything's sort of crumbling down, but with the consistency and everything, you get through it. I think another thing is celebrating the wins is also important, and enjoying the journey. So like every time that we catch up with Jess, we at the very start of the session kind of go through the wins since we had our last chat, and it's one way to sit there and reflect on what's been happening, but it's also helped in a way that with Jess, that she recognizes it and goes, okay, we're actually now graduated a section of what we're doing now that you said this, and we can move up the standard a bit, and move on to the next phase, because something that we said, oh, is this a win? They're like, well, that's actually exactly what we wanted to do. And we're moving on. So I think, recognizing that, the wins and enjoying them is very important.
Like, it's, definitely. Like, even just recently having Kai completely cope with a dog that he's not known very long, but come to his face. And, in the past, that would have been a lot of lunging and snapping and a lot of, you need to fuck off.
Yeah.
But he was like, in this moment recently, he was just like, I see you, but I'm going to go see Mom. And I was like,
I'm going to enjoy the little things. Enjoy the little things.
He's shocked, like just staring. I'm like, are you fine?
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty big win to me. I think
So yeah, you got to celebrate those big wins. Any win really, is important.
Well, thank you so much for coming and chatting. This has been such a fun one. I haven't laughed this much in a podcast yet. So appreciate your time and your energy. And thanks for flying the flag all the way across the pond. And I mean, maybe one day we'll meet in real life. But for now, we're loving watching your stories and seeing the updates as you go. So yeah, stay in touch and thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.